Welcome back to my channel. This is a very different place for me to be in, standing no less, by the way, which I will not be doing for long. But welcome back to my channel. I'm JC. Today's video was requested by, they just left me the username Just Mary. That's what the email said. And they wanted a tour of my bookshelves, which, hold on, let's swing over this way, include that one as well. And I thought, had I done this already? And I think I had, but it was before I reorganized my bookshelves and unhauled a whole bunch of books. And they're still not the best, prettiest thing, but nevertheless, here we go. A tour of my bookshelves. So, bookshelf number 1 is what I like to call my writing resource section. We do have dogs in the building, so excuse the barking of dogs if you hear it. But top shelf is where most of the dictionary type of books can be found. I have the Oxford Dictionary for Writers and Editors, French to English, English to French dictionary, thesauruses, phrases and fables, poetry dictionary, some places that I want to, that I've researched in the past, probably will research again as I use them in my books. Second shelf. I don't know if I have these organized in a particular order, but just how-tos. Sorry for the shaking. Writer's Market. That's an very old Writer's Market, but I felt the need to hang on to it. Playwriting books, some business style books. Let's see. More playwriting, creating character emotions. The book of dialogue. Let's see. And shelf number 3. Oh, hold on, wait. I need a chair. Okay, so shelf number 3 is more, it's a lot of freelance books, marketing books, books on writing query letters, crime reference books, some kind of memory, but non-fiction. Like Julia Cameron has quite a few books other than The Artist's Way, and her books are usually over here. Like this one, The Sound of Paper, Dictionary of Literary Terms, Writing Romance, the Self-Publishing Manual, lots of other books, criminal, mystery type reference books, which I know I love my mystery. There is the New York Times Manual of Style and Usage, Risk-Free Entrepreneur, another self-publishing manual, another romance writing book. That is shelf 3. On to shelf 4. Some business style books, MFA books, Writer's Handbook, another self-pub guide, the complete guide to self-publishing, writing creative nonfiction, another Writer's Market book, a little more up to date than the other one, 45 Master Characters, books on bringing characters to life. Stephen King's On Writing is over here, building believable characters, a lot of careers for your characters, character traits, guides to writing character traits. I think I have two different versions of the same book, but investigative reporter's handbook, a lot of stuff for mystery writing and things like that, publicizing, more marketing type style things, writing short stories, writing for soap operas, because one of these days I still want to try to do that. The descriptive word finder, guide to music publishing, writing songs. And, okay, getting down here is going to be a struggle. Shelf 5, which is a little bit more disorganized. It's just a lot more of the starting and running a successful newsletter or magazine, nonprofit guide stuff, slang dictionary, stuff about entrepreneurship, medical terms, how to publish articles, cover letters, and query and cover letters, writing plays, and some of my textbooks from college on humanities and media culture. So, yeah, there's that. And that is bookshelf number 1. Shelf number 2 is where we get into our fiction. Actually, let me move these because these are the books that I've read already. Okay, so top shelf is where I got a lot of my romance, smexy, African American literature. All up here, mostly on the second shelf as well. You got Omar Tyree, Mary B. Morrison, some Zane, Elin Harris. Actually, that's most of what's on that top shelf is those specific writers. Michael Baisden. Yeah, that's the top shelf. This second shelf, which, let me move my own books out of the way. I need to find a better place to put these. We'll get there one day. More African American literature books. I want to say this is probably mostly women's fiction or romance, either categorized that way. Sister Soldier, R.M. Johnson, B.B. Moore Campbell, Kimberly Lawson Roby, Diane McKinney, Zadia Smith, Jacqueline Thomas, Connie Briscoe, who is from PG County, where I live, yay, and Lolita Files, and I think that's it for that shelf, and more of my proof copies on this one, sorry. Again, more African American literature, women's fiction, some romance mixed in here somewhere. But I think they're mostly a lot of the same authors. I think this whole row is Eric Jerome Dickey. Mary Monroe is probably the vast majority of this row. I do somehow an Elizabeth Gilbert Eat, Pray, Love got in there somewhere. Terry McMillan, Toni Morrison, Alice Walker. Yeah, that's that shelf. I think that's all on that. J.D. Mason is also on that shelf. And yeah, so fourth shelf. Woo. This is where we get more into, I guess what you can call classic literature or more speculative fiction, some little mix of both. I'm pretty sure that's all of this shelf. There's some contemporary fiction in there, I think, somewhere, but Girl with the Pearl Earring, Great Gatsby, Emma, some Jane Austen here, Charles Dickens. I cannot say this author's name right, but Crime and Punishment guy. Tolstoy, some Anita Sharif, who's more in the, I want to say, the contemporary fiction vein. Let's see. Just a lot of different, okay, Candace Bushnell is not contemporary fiction, but yeah, she's on this shelf too. Wally Lamb, Joyce Carol Oates, a lot of hers on this shelf. Yeah, so that's mostly that shelf. Okay, so this probably is the most disorganized shelf, is the fifth one. Okay, now it's a little too much for me to move the ones in front just because those are a lot. But the ones that are in front are the ones that I've read. This is my mostly okay, there are some fiction books on here, but it's mostly my nonfiction section. I have Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes, Steve Harvey books, Tyler Perry books here, Mindy Kaling, Russell Simmons business book, Chris Gardner, the Pursuit of Happiness guy. There are some fiction books on here, but it's mostly nonfiction. But you can see I can't really get down there, sorry. And now we have bookshelf number 3, which is kind of my favorite shelf. It is practically all mystery and thriller, yeah. And it's also where I normally keep my TBR, which are the books that I usually have in front here, but I took them down so you could see these. So top shelf are actually books I've already read, but I don't particularly want to part with them. So I'm not entirely sure why Just Listen is here, because that's not mystery, but I think I just needed somewhere for her to go. But yeah, J.D. Robb, Sue Grafton, James Patterson, David Baldacci. That's all that top shelf. I've already read all of those. Second shelf, these are the books I have not read yet. You see I left space for new books to come in. And some Lisa Scott Alone, Harlan Coben, Brad Meltzer, Dennis Lehane, Jonathan Kellerman, Jesse Kellerman, Faye Kellerman, Karen Slaughter, some more David Baldacci. Third shelf. Whew. I did leave 2 shelves kind of open because I'm hoping to get some more books in there. Also, I pulled a lot of the TBRs from these 2 shelves. So these 2 shelves, the second and third shelf. Hold on. Oops. Second and third shelf are the books that I have not read yet. The top shelf and the bottom shelf are books that have already been read. That is the bottom shelf, mind you. And this fourth shelf is kind of a mix of half and half. The first 2 rows are books I have not read, and these are books that I have read, and I needed them to go somewhere. I've also read these 2. And on the third shelf is more James Patterson, more J.D. Robb, more Harlan Coben. Fourth shelf of the ones that I haven't read, this is all J.D. Robb right here, this front row and the back row. Dan Brown, Agatha Christie, Bloodwork by Michael Conley, John Sanford. Nora Roberts writing as J.D. Robb. That's actually a romance mixed in with mystery, so which is why it's on the mystery shelf. Alfred Hitchcock. I have some Nancy Drew. It's behind here, more James Patterson. Down here, I've actually read, it's too many books to pull out, but it's a whole entire stack of books behind each of these front stacks of books. So where you see there's 3 stacks here, there's 3 more stacks behind these. And then the Fate is kind of wedged in here because, yeah. But, yes. I can't move those, but there's a lot of books down there. And I took the liberty of putting my TBR stack back in the front. So these are my books on my TBR for the year, which I know there's no way I'm going to read all these this year, but sure going to have fun trying. So there you have it. Those are the books that are on my bookshelf. Hoping to add more. Hope before the end of the year, maybe for my birthday next month. I have a few books in mind to get, but hopefully, just married. This gave you a good insight into what's on my bookshelf. Thank you for sending in the suggested video. Came just in time. And I know that I unhauled a lot of books, and they're still in my house. Yeah, those things. But I'm just not physically able to take them to the library at the moment, but we're gonna get there. But just imagine how full my bookshelves would be if they were still up there. I need another shelf. I have a problem, but it's a good problem to have. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more videos from me, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I post videos on Mondays and Thursdays. I live stream on Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As per usual, if you would like to be supportive of me in any of my creative endeavors, such as my blog, my online magazine, online store, Ko-fi page, Redbubble shop, Patreon, or by buying my books, all of those links can be found in the description box below. And until next time, have a blessed day. Bye.